here we are once again, everyone, at the spring of 2017, with the sun rising high in the sky and the flowers blooming. We look towards the east because Chinese cartoons are premiering and I have to make a video based on all of my impressions about them. As always, this is not meant to be taken seriously. This is just me making jokes about shows that are premiering during the season, so hey, cool, I might miss one. Don't worry yourself about it. I'll probably get to it later. And without further ado, how many motherfuckers does it take to catch a fucking hedgehog? Like, I'm pretty sure a common hedgehog's top velocity is like 1 meter per hour. So, considering the fact that these are two full-grown adults, they should be able to. I just don't know. Oh, it's one of these. Okay, so it's just maho shoujo no bullshit. Sukiyaki Rey is about a young boy that attends high school and lives in a town where on every street corner and in every hallway, there's just like 5 dudes with halogen lights, and they just project this soft white border on everyone's face, and it's driving me fucking crazy. So a young boy finds this kimono spirit lady, and of course he's like the only one that can see her or some bullshit. I have seen this show, or I should say so many like it, so many times that oh my god. Okay. She blocked the hair attack with her kimono. The chick attacked her with her hair and is called a weave shield. I'm not even trying. The shows are just giving me jokes. So this one's kind of weird. This little girl like escapes from a research facility and there's other kids there that have like crazy powers and shit, and she can like bend and distort reality. Her mom's trying to take her back because her mom can just summon some fucking 40-year-old man's arm out of the sky. But what I really like about this is they're not presenting it from like the point of the girls or the kids or anything like that. They're presenting it from the point of view of this grizzly old man that's like, I'm too old for this shit. It's like someone's 60-year-old uncle that was in the Vietnam War ran into a Sailor Moon cosplayer and was like, what in the hell is this shit?
You know, back in my day, sailors used to be men. They used to be strapping young lads that would go out for adventure on the high seas, and now we just have tiny Asian women with wands and cats and shit. Doesn't make sense.
So here's another one that falls into the same category as the one from earlier, where it's just a young boy who suddenly has some sort of robot girl that drops on his house, and she's like super powerful or something like that, and he's supposedly gifted because he can hear the machines and stuff like that, and they fight machines, which is probably a nice change of pace for this kid because it looks to be that all he does all day is sit at home and rub his clocks.
Rub his clocks. Rub his clocks. Penis joke.
So a teenage light novel author lives in the same house as the same person who draws the covers and insert art for his books. And as it turns out, it's his little sister who never comes out of her room. Now, that's not to say that there's a suspension of disbelief with the fact that even though he's taking care of her and shit, he's doing this every single fucking day and taking care of this kid that doesn't even come out. Honestly, if it were me in this situation, that girl would have been dead fucking years ago. So it's a show about tiny figure girls that fight each other for their master's amusement and learn emotions and shit like that. Do you hear that, folks? If you listen closely, you can hear the sound of Full-O Anime's pants just tightening by the second. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this because I need someone to understand. This right here. That, not this. This section right here. Not the whole thing. Not the whole thing, but this right here. And this also over here where, you know, it's not both of them, but just like this part, like this pose in general. I don't know what the word for it is. I don't know what it's called, but that's my fetish. Now, if I say the words flaming scarf man, the immediate thing that comes to mind is a very fashionable man from San Francisco, but here in the world of anime, it means that this guy with this scarf that literally turns on fire fights a giant horde of CG villains. Wait a minute, this is computer generated, right? Holy shit, they're actually in the same frame rate of the show, and they're masked really well. You know, come to think of it, actually earlier, the girls in Frame Arms Girl didn't look that bad either. Hang on, let's find something else here. Okay, yeah, see, here we go. There's this is that show that's about kabuki theater. I don't really give a shit, but look at the opening shot. these are CG-ass cars, and they're in the same fucking frame rate, and they're actually shaded correctly. Like, what the hell? Have they finally figured this out? I mean, maybe the entirety of Japan's anime studios have bound together and said, hey, let's just do CG correctly. I mean, hey, if this is the case, let me bust out my hopes and dreams. Here they are. It's really nice to have them. Do you hear that? Oh, that's right. Let me just put these away so they don't get shattered. I mean, come on. Listen, I know that this is a necessary thing. I know there's such thing as a budget in anime, but come the fuck on. Every single sequence that doesn't have guts in it is completely hand-drawn, really nice portrait-style stuff. But then we cut back to this spiky-haired potato man, and it's just like, So now, this show, I actually highly recommend that you watch the episode 0 before you watch episode 1, because I went in with no idea about the subject matter whatsoever. So I'm watching what I thought was the first episode of this show about this guy going into the Japanese business economy and making trade deals and learning about how business works over there, and I was really fascinated by that, kind of disregarding the CG because with this it doesn't actually look that bad, and the subject matter itself does not involve a whole lot of movement, so I'm okay with it. And they wrap up their first trade deal, and I'm like, yeah, this is a nice little show. I kind of like the concept here. Let's roll with this. Go on to episode 1 now, and suddenly Cube out of the sky, and they're probably dead. Oh yeah, here you go. Yeah, they're super dead. They're gone. They're dead.
You know, I'm always a fan of a show that uses the classic bait and switch mentality, but I'm not a fan of shows that hurt me in places that I physically cannot touch.
Now you see here, it's like Death Note, except it's a kiss note, and when you write your name in the kiss note with a person that you like, you have to kiss them or you die. So it's basically just Death Note then. You would think, but there's one small difference, or should I say, 2 large differences. Does anyone else get this? I do not understand. Oh, titties. Just fucking say titties, dude. Come on, we can sell the shit out of titties. So a scrappy 20-something guy with some sort of weird history with the most famous witch in the world takes on a substitute teaching position at a school where the principal was basically like, okay, it's time to make the uniforms. Let's just make crop tops. That'll be nice. Do some like thigh-high, tight kind of things. Yeah, let's just work with that. Garters are a definite plus. We should probably do that as well. And what's the opposite of garters? Like suspenders. Yeah, that's right. Now hear me out on this. Let's do it across the stomach, but only for the girls. I would look at this man and say, I see you're a man of taste as well, but get the hell out. You are so fired. So a young man who has an eidetic memory, a mental condition in which that you just remember every single thing ever, meets a girl who can rewind time by 2 days. And when they meet, he realizes that he still remembers everything from before it reset. Now this would be a very interesting concept for a show. I typically like time travel stuff. However, I would probably change the name of the show to Budget Steins Gate, or Steins Great Value. So forget hiring a tiny genius tutor. What the king in this show really needs to do is hire a new fucking maid. These curtains are dusty as shit. Speaking of royalty, PA Works decided to do something interesting this season with a show about a girl with abnormally shiny hair that decides to be a queen. More accurately, she's just going to be working in the tourism bureau as their quote-unquote monarch. Don't really know why she needs to work to be a tourism manager. I mean, it's a pretty nice area. Huge, lush mountains. The house she's staying in looks like a really nice cottage. I mean, I'm sure there's like timeshares and shit there. But I mean, sure, they have a slight infestation of lizardmen. I'm sure it can be overcome. You know, it's a fixer-upper. While I'm on the subject of animal people, there is also this show, which is most notable for me shitting a brick thinking that ReZero came back because the names look so similar. It features a very large and strong Catman and his new tiny wizard companion who has this adorable little hair flip that comes out from under the hood. And I could care more about this show, but I choose not to. Okay, Shumatsu nani shitemasu ka isogashi desu ka sukite morate. Is that Lee desu ka? Okay, I have no idea what this one is about. Let's just watch for a moment. Okay, so this girl has a stone or some shit and it's magic, and this guy is just, I guess, the main character. He's super fast and probably super powerful, but we'll never see it. And all the people are animal. Wait a minute. That's a very odd choice for an OP. Are you going to get to the point? This whole sequence takes too much time. So the main character takes a job as a manager for a warehouse where they're keeping apparently crazy weapons or some shit. And as he's making his way over there, he gets attacked by this tiny girl with a wooden sword.
Okay, pause that shit. The warehouse is a mansion. It's filled with girls or lollies or something or whatever, and they're the actual weapons that he's supposed to be managing, and they're all vying for his attention. Calling that shit now.
Okay, it should come as no surprise that I'm a fan of the booty. But even if you censor it, any fan of something will instantly not become a fan of it if you shove it in their face. Buso Shoujo Machiavellianism. I just know that somewhere out in Japan there's some writer that was like, I need an English word to put on end of manga or anime series. Oh, I cannot pronounce this one. It must mean something. I mean, to be fair, most English people won't be able to understand what it means either because I can barely pronounce it correctly. And finally, we finish off this season with 3 shows that harken back to the past. Now, I know I've been harping on the names of shows for this entire video, but I know how romanization works. I know this is supposed to be Boruto, it's Bolt, but when I read it out loud, all I hear is However, funny name aside, Bort actually shows us that Studio Pierrot still has it. The OP is pretty kick-ass, some of the animation looks really good. I mean, it is Naruto, but let's be honest, a vast majority of us got started watching Naruto, and seeing it from a fresh perspective is pretty nice. Especially with that whole flash-forward sequence where they had, like, swords and tattoos and shit. I mean, you gotta admit, that's pretty fucking cool. And not so far into the past, but still in the past nonetheless, we come back with Season 2 of Boku no Hero Academia, where all the paper boys are saying, extra, read all about it. Local boy punches things and then cries about it. But it is a tournament arc, so naturally, I'm really excited about it. Now, delving back into a little bit more of the recent past, we have wait a minute. Wow, it's not quite the same, but it's so close that it really bothers me a lot. But anyway, yay! They're finally back and they're exploring the mystery of the Titans and where they come from. At least for the first part of this show, we don't get to see a lot of Eren Yeager because of the other characters doing shit, so hey, we don't get to deal with his whiny ass. I'm down. And finally, we return to the very, very beginning of anime with Adam, the beginning. Now, I kind of forgot this show was coming out, and I've never been a huge Astro Boy guy, but the OP for this show is fucking gorgeous. And the fact that we're getting the prequel story of the prototype of Astro Boy being made with the 2 doctors and everything, I just can't tell you how surprised I was at how good this show is so far. I'm really looking forward to more.
And that's it for this season, everybody. Thanks for watching. You know, it was really fun to make this again, and I'm starting to get back more into the rhythm of making videos, albeit a little bit sparse. I'm working on it. It's a difficult life schedule that I have right now. I do regret to inform you because a lot of people are commenting about it. This fucking frog, Lucio, unfortunately, not but 2 weeks after I made that video, he passed away from red leg, which is a very terrible amphibious disease that affects a lot of frogs and other salamanders, things like that. He will be missed. He will forever be acknowledged as the greatest anime of all time. We miss you, buddy. We do. We do have a new friend over here. Let me see if I can get her out. So we went to a pet store and we saw this little lady here. Originally thought she was a man, so we gave her a man's name. But she likes to climb, so we called her Genji. And she is a leopard gecko, and she likes to climb shit. She's never on the payload, so there's that. There she goes, making her way that way. Come on, sweetheart, you can't go that far. I need to put you back in. Come on. Yeah. As always, folks, I may not have touched on everything. I know I did not do Recreators, but that's because I really like it so far, and I couldn't really think of anything to joke about with it, so
didn't really include it in the video, so I'll just tell you, it's pretty good so far, so give it a watch if you can. Now, I had a poll recently on the subject of my Twitch channel asking, you know, what kind of games or anything you guys might want to see, and on there I threw out audio engineering and music production as just kind of a, yeah, what the fuck, let's see what people think, and a surprising amount of you want to see me do that, so that will probably be happening in the future at some point, but I have to figure out how I'm going to be able to do it. Having the microphone input at the same time as any sort of like keyboard or any sort of software is kind of difficult, so I'm working on it. I would like to take a second and thank all of my patrons for being incredibly supportive and helping me out and pushing my way into actually making videos, because it's really the main motivation I have really going forward with a lot of this, especially with a lot of the changes coming to YouTube. I mean, I'll always still do it for fun, just these guys keep me going on a month-to-month basis trying to make sure that I'm actually putting something out. So, without further ado, I would like to, let's get the $2 rewards out of the way. Gregory Price, thank you so much. Mike McD, thank you. Nicholas Gingerella. Nicholas Gingerella, thank you. It's an interesting last name. Mark Philpott, and now I recognize this guy. I think he's been following me for a long time, and I'm really glad to see that he's still going, so hey, thanks Mark. Nice guy. Dakota Broski, I don't know who that motherfucker is. Weird dude. Twitch Souls, who doesn't have an actual name, he's just a cool dude, I guess. Twitch Souls. And then Josh Shercliffe with his last one, so thank you guys, again. Thank you so much. Now, my 3 big spenders I'd like to point out are Ethan Gerard, thank you, dude, so much. And then my 2, my main men, my main dudes that help me out are JKW, dude, holy shit, thank you so much. And Chaotic Sloth. Now this guy has been following me for a while, and I am so glad to see that he really wanted to get in and help out so much with this, so hey, thank you, Chaotic Sloth and JKW, all of my patrons, and as always, you can support me on Patreon. I will put the link up in the thing with the end card because this new system is weird and I hate it, but whatever. And as for what's in the future of my channel or anything like that, I am getting ready to hit 7,000 subscribers, and I've had something planned for this since I hit 1,000, and I knew exactly what I was going to do. It's a particular show that's near and dear and close to my heart and may or may not have the word 7 in it. For those that don't get it, are you fucking serious? It will be coming soon. I cannot say exactly for sure because I have one other project that is almost done that is going to be coming out, but it's a part of a larger thing, and I will get to that later. But anyway, as always, thanks guys. Bye-bye.